chains the strong and weak.
First of all, I want you two kids to know this is a safe space, okay? Feel free to express yourself. Don't be afraid. I sense there's an enabler here, but we'll get to that.
Bowser, I feel like he has to be on my list.
Because he is
He's Bowser.
bondage daddy sexy.
Bondage daddy, but also like
Good
literal
father.
daddy.
Yeah.
You heard her.
I'm not repeating that.
And now it's time for Everybody Loves Hypnotoad.
I hope you guys realize that your like little gay chair relationship thing has now bled over into other streams that I not only watch, but my own stream as well. Like people are demanding hypno chair, and I'm like, what the fuck is a hypno chair?
Dude, you need a chair. Yes.
I don't need a chair. That's the last thing I actually need. I will reiterate, I do not need a chair.
Well,
but the lore
there's an easier clip that can explain this if I could find it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You have clips for this? No.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
This is what I did.
Cheers to the sky, try so high. Here, just size on the ceiling. The chair went to Mars, and now it's the feeling.
Going off screen.
3 hours later.
There he is. Hypno.
So let me get this straight. Hold on.
Did your chair break?
So how do I say this? So you told Smash that his clip needs to be short, and you got like a 20-minute montage of fucking chairs.
Okay, that was literally just for our stream, and Smash hadn't seen it yet.
That's insane.
That was amazing.
Hey, it worked. People loved it.
Dude, that was amazing. That was amazing. I was cracking up.
Not gonna lie, that's pretty hardcore. I didn't realize the lore for the chair thing went that deep, but I guess yeah, now I understand.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man! Master does not like the way I eat muffins.
Okay, I'm sorry, but when I'm a normal person, you eat the muffin, you take bites, and you finish the muffin, and it has the wrapper, and you throw the wrapper out, and you're done. My wife eats it like in tiny little bites, and then bites the wrapper, and like bites pieces off of like on the wrapper.
What's wrong with eating the scraps?
It looks weird.
But there's literally no one else there. It's just you and me at breakfast.
It annoys me. Like literally, she like will bite it off, but she'll do it like a little squirrel. Like, it's like, stop it.
I'm enjoying the muffin.
Enjoy it quietly.
My voice is now starting to hurt. Hold on, I have a trick for that.
Oh.
Ricola. Oh, better. What?
Never do that again.
Ricola. Did it even pick me up?
It did, unfortunately.
All right, listen up, you bunch of lost souls and weirdos. It's showtime. You want to survive in this world of pop culture chaos? Well, here's the secret. You got to hit that subscribe button over on Gothic Therapy's YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right. Do it or I'll come knocking, and trust me, you don't want me as a house guest. Don't be shy. Whack that button like you're slamming the door of your in-laws. And hey, hit the bell too, or I'll be haunting your dreams. Catch you on the other side, baby.
In the heart of chaos where agendas collide, master of the TDS rated stand side by side. Exploring the madness, we uncover the proof with sharp wit and insight. We're the voice of the truth. Welcome to Psycho-Synopsis, the dark side of the truth. Dive deep into the madness you cannot refute. Secrets of the asylum, come free your mind. Crazy or not, let us be your guide. Diving into the shadows where secrets reside. We'll tear down the facade of culture's villains can't hide. Wild theories and whispers in the dark. Join us on this journey, reignite the spark. So tune in and listen, let's spark the debate. With Master Lighting and Raven, your salvation awaits.
Welcome, seekers of the asylum.
For those searching for salvation,
or embracing the insane.
You've come to the right place. Good afternoon.
Well, so a couple things to address before we get into kind of the topics and stuff. First off is hopefully, I did notice you went a little robotic there for a second, honey, but hopefully that wasn't a problem. So we've messed with our router a little bit, and now we both are plugged into the router, so it should be a lot better. But we're not sure. We've done pretty much everything we can to make it like as smooth as possible. But if there's any roboticness going on, like there's not much we can do about it at this point. We've done pretty much all we can aside from like getting a different provider, and this one has been the best provider so far. So,
True. I mean, our old providers absolutely sucked.
It did. Our old provider was so bad, it literally anything we watched would buffer, and this one has not done. So people are already saying they can hear a difference, which is good. But if we do go robotic, it can't be helped. We've done everything we can to minimize that and make the connection as best as possible. So
I am literally because I'm pretty sure people know about now. When Master and I do these streams, we are in 2 separate rooms, and I have extended a literal 50-foot Ethernet cable from the router to the room I'm in just for better internet.
Yeah,
I'm not joking about it being 50 feet long. That's actually the length I bought.
Yeah, so we're both plugged into a switch thing that connects to the router that allows us to extend it, blah, blah, blah. A lot of technical terms. Long story short, what it should do... Oh, let me actually turn this on. I turn on the chat now, so it will show there. But yeah. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Second thing is... Yeah, okay, so people are saying we do go a little robotic still. Hopefully it's less.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Hopefully a lot less than all the other times.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
Please, God.
A couple other things to go into. Our poll today is a bit different because we're trying to figure out if what we're going to do for 15,000 subscribers, if we're going to do anything or not.
I have a couple ideas, but you said you don't wanna.
Because I end up having to be the one to plan it, and it's annoying.
Well, why can't we do this anyway? We don't have to have guests, you know that.
You went robotic again. Ugh. Why is it? We've done everything we can to make it not robotic, and I don't understand why.
But what I was saying, darling, is we don't need guests. All I want to do is do the bad fairy tales thing and that stupid introduction to the Bram Stoker book that made us laugh our heads off.
Yeah, but the thing is, that is one of the options already on the poll. So
okay, I'm gonna vote for that.
Special stream just ourselves. So, but yeah, okay. So there's that. We'll get to that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go vote. I'm gonna vote for that because I want to do that.
Okay. Anywho, you may notice we've been getting requests to return our puke emoji to the channel, and it is back, along with 2 other emotes. One is made by Asian Swordmaster, which was Raven as a cat girl. So there is a cat girl Raven emote that you can use. And we have a pot of greed that is like going like, yes, with the hands in the air. And it's the goth pog emote. So you can use that now too.
Yeah. I know Mermelade really just wanted the puking cat. So
yeah, I specifically knew Mermelade wanted it. So now it's back.
You're welcome, Merm.
Okay. So there's that. I think that's pretty much it. I haven't had any updates on our avatars yet. I'm honestly, I don't know how far along that is or not. I haven't been able to get a hold of the person behind it. So honestly, right now we seem to be okay. So maybe it won't be a problem. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're doing a stream earlier today. Why earlier today? Well, we have a prior commitment, and then next week should be back to normal time as usual. Just a reminder for anybody new here who come, whatever, we normally do this stream at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We are not doing that today, obviously, because it's not 7 p.m. Pacific time. But basically, we will be doing it at that time normally. And if there's any changes to that, we let people know in the notifications tab, or sorry, the community tab on YouTube. So there's that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Honey, do you want to explain what our goal is for today?
If we get 20 total super chats starting now, because currently the goal says we have 2 out of 20. Because we did get a couple before Master set up the goal. But if we get 18 more super chats, doesn't matter how much you guys spend, we will tell you guys about our night at Universal Fan Fest.
Which was one of the reasons why we ended up doing our stream earlier, not that long ago. We did another stream, one of these at 2, because we were going to go to it, and it was the last possible day that we could go to it, and we couldn't do it a different day. So that's the reason we missed that stream.
Because of the freaking Omer!
Yeah, I think that's it. I did kind of want to bring up some information, something that went on, that's been going on online. I did want to address it before getting into the chat. So I think I'll address it in passing, and then we'll kind of move on to the chat and kind of do things as usual. Maybe we'll make this a new thing where we kind of talk about breaking news, the first part. I don't know. So I made a post on Friday that appears to have gotten some people very, very mad at me. And all I simply did was point out that one of the games announced at Summer Games Fest was a game released by Brass Lion Entertainment. Now, Brass Lion is involved with Sweet Baby Inc. We've known this for a while. I've specifically mentioned this on numerous occasions, posted about it too. But for some reason, this one got a lot of attention. So much so that I am apparently getting death threats, which I've had before, but these people seem pretty deranged. So, and to be fair, I didn't really post anything that was mean. Like, all I said was, this is the game they're involved in, and, vote with your wallets, and then gave a bunch more information. And that was pretty much it. But they're saying that I'm saying it's woke, that I'm doing all this kind of stuff. And it's like, but I didn't do anything. Like, if you
literally never said the word woke.
Well, they're saying, and this is what I want.
I'm sorry, but they're ridiculous. You never used that word.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous that basically I want to address something they keep bringing up. So they got annoyed at me because someone came into the comments and actually said, like, I don't want to play. Why do we even play any games with people of color? And I said, like, no, we don't have that attitude here. Like, take it elsewhere. Apparently, I'm not allowed to do that, and I'll tell you why. Because apparently, wait for this, I'm associated with people like Grums and Smash JT. Therefore, I am a Gamergate 2 grifter, and this is my audience, and I know better.
Huh?
I thought it was weird because, look, here's the thing. All these people, first off, my posts on Twitter are very, very mild. Very mild, I'll be honest. And I'm just saying that just based on me. I try not to be. If you look at my post and it seems like I'm saying something really mean, you should look and see again, because usually, if you pay attention, so for example, sometimes someone posts about something about like Morbius, and I said, oh, this sucks because it's about vampires. So I try to make puns. So if it's something that looks really bad, it's probably a pun. It's probably not the same thing, but whatever. The second thing is, these people clearly never watch our content. They maybe only watch our videos that do really well, which is fine. They're not forced to watch our content. But if they did, they would know that we've multiple times spoken up to people and spoken back against things when it was not popular to do so.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we stood up for Abu Bakr Salim after getting to see how he reacted online and chatting with him a little bit. That his game was not made with with Sweet Baby Inc., but was he was trying to actually talk to people, so we gave him a chance. For example, there was a controversy about Avowed, about the character editor. We specifically made a video debunking that. We're not the kind of people, like, I honestly made that post and didn't think much of it. But the reason I was thinking about the reason I'm thinking about this is because these people think that because I am courting a certain audience, that's the audience that I attract. And it's like, okay, yes, I can't help who I attract. Neither can anybody. But that does not mean that I am 100% like support. Oh, well, you obviously support racism. No, I don't. If you want to go buy that game, be my guest. I simply think that we should be informed of who is behind the games. And I'll tell you why. It's not because it's woke because Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. Do you want to know the reason? The reason is because, how about this? Sweet Baby Inc. has had multiple people on it who have done outrageous and terrible things, not just to people I know, but to people in general. And so I was simply informing people, and based on that alone, if I were interested in this game, I would not buy it. So I was simply informing people about that. But apparently I'm not allowed to do that because of who I associate with, and it means certain things about myself, whatever. I just wanted to address that. I think all people doing that are absolutely bonkers. And honestly, it's kind of sad. I'll tell you why. Because you guys used to at least try. And when I say try, I'm using the term with air quotes. You used to at least try to be like, I don't know, somewhat creative.
And somewhat insulting.
And somewhat maybe a little logical. You've completely gone off the rails lately, and that's fine. You don't have to like me. But like, come on, there's so many people who I have literally become friends with who completely disagree with me on a lot of things. And we are able to have civil discussions because I do not care. I do not care that you like a game and I don't. I do not care that you think a certain thing and I don't. What I care about is if you're coming in and trying to tell me to off myself because I dared to inform people that Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in a game that you like, then I'm never going to think that I'm on the wrong side of things because I'm not the person saying death threats. Just throwing it out there.
Pretty much.
I could rant about this more, but I'm not. But basically, I just want to say that, the people who do this show who they really are, what they show themselves as, are people who do not actually watch our content because there have been so many videos that we've made, and I've made sure to say multiple times that literally you do not have to listen to us, and it's just our opinion. And if you buy the game, you're more than welcome to buy the game.
Yeah. That's all we've ever said.
There's plenty of videos to back that up, but none of them will care because that they want to be narrative, so that's what it is.
Yeah, and we don't fit the narrative because we are some of the most individual people you will meet on YouTube who don't just echo everything everybody else says.
And to be fair, we're not pointing fingers at anybody in particular and saying, oh, these people don't echo. I understand people have different opinions on certain YouTubers and certain things, whatever. I tried to be kind of neutral with everybody. At least I did before the whole thing with JDA. And I'm not doing that as much anymore. But like I know people in the chat here who don't like certain people that I stream with. And you know what? That's fine. You don't have to. It's like you don't have to. Oh no, you don't like a person I stream with.
Yeah,
oh,
but we're not going to get mad at you because you don't like someone we like.
And we're not going to tell you to off yourself.
Common courtesy and actual decency and civility? What? No way. I thought those were extinct.
Like literally right now I'm looking. Right now they are literally still mad at me on Twitter. Right now. I posted it on Friday. And if you guys not like nobody cares. Well, you clearly do because you're still commenting. But okay.
When are people not mad at you on Twitter?
Yeah, but let's get into the topics. I ranted enough about this. Maybe we'll make this a segment on its own at some point, like a thing. But I kind of wanted to address it because I honestly don't care if you have different opinions of things. You can have them. All I ask is that if you can't even meet me halfway or try to understand my perspective, then there's no point in talking with you. But if you can, even if you disagree, then we can talk. That's all. Not difficult.
Because we're civil. We're Jewish. We were raised to be civil.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the chats because we don't want to spend too long.
True, because we do have places to be later. Let me get a timer going. And ready, and go.
Griffin of Might, diversity for the diversity god, diversity for the diversity throne, and milk for cornflakes. So first for bringing up a Warhammer thing.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And then since you said it, and I know somebody else is already going to ask for it in the next comment.
It's the differences that make our world so rich, diverse, and wonderful.
I still hate you, though.
There you go. And the great one is here. Good afternoon. You diversity offer clocking in early, beaten to the punch again. Yep. Drevlock says this one early may kill me. I haven't slept. Not sure if I'll make it or not. If not be well, that's fine. Understandable. It basically, look, we don't expect everybody who comes at 7 to turn up here. What we expect is that it's either do it this way or don't stream at all. And I think that we'd rather have a stream out. No?
Yeah, because when was the last time we streamed? Because last Sunday was Shavuos.
Yeah, so we didn't stream. Last time we streamed was 2 weeks. Was not last week, but the week before.
Yeah.
So, Seabrew says congrats, guys, because he's talking about the poll about 15K. Thunderkid says clocking in, Master Raven. How was Shavuos? And I still didn't get the answer of what kind of cheesecake Raven is eating because if she doesn't like it, she's not having good cheesecake.
I've never had good cheesecake.
Raven just doesn't like it, and she doesn't think that it's cake. As far as how Shavuos went, it was fine. A bit long.
It was long. Oh my gosh, it was torturously long.
But it was fine. It's time to connect with God, or read, be with family, whatever. It's not a bad thing, but only so much you can do.
And I made some very good food.
Yep. Yes, you did.
Thank you.
T-Jazz Art and Comics says, hey, you chat. Oh, we don't get high? I see how it is. I see how it is. I see you. I'm just kidding. I was being mean. They're saying hi at chat, and they're not saying hi to us. That's more important to confirm. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are more important, kind of. Alejandro Campos says clocking into the night shift. Void Saint says clocking into the night shift. Servant of God, clocking in, boys. We on. But Potter Decker Miller says hello. Karasu Shiro says clocking in. Hello, Master Raven in chat. It's normal time for him, so we don't have to tell him to go to sleep this time. 3M5000 says testing my Gargoyles DVD as I watch this stream. Paladin Demo says dropping by for a quick high, caught 3 rainbow trout, and getting ready to run werewolf, ready to rally the master sons of Sigmar for the Emperor. That's a Warhammer reference, right?
Sigmar is Warhammer Fantasy, yes.
Where is that stupid clip? I keep moving them.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
That's going to be a running joke forever on this channel, isn't it?
Correct. The Pickleman says Invisible Raven, Master Fantastic, The Great Torch, and Ben Proc the File.
That's not bad.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Vindicus Oliveira da Silva says, good evening, Master and Writing Raven, the best Gothic couple on YouTube. Well, thank you. It's cold here in Brazil. Well, it's not cold here, but...
Brazil can get cold?
I would assume so. Most places could get cold.
Well, not Peru. Peru just gets wet.
Mermalates is clocking in everyone.
Yes.
Youngblood Ray says clocking in.
Good.
The Fizchozo Corner says, I considered making Dalek fan art, but I decided I'd rather design my own race inspired by the Daleks. Good idea, because honestly, at this point, the show's dead. We're going to talk about it.
Let's just say that Doctor Who has been exterminated.
Yes, we say that multiple times, but this time they really... Oh boy, I cannot wait to talk about it because I'm not actually going to get sad this time. I'm going to get annoyed because you will not believe the amazing, and I'm using amazing with quotes, I'm being completely sarcastic, the amazing story work that was done on this thing. Oh my God, they are so amazing, good, and no, it's not.
Well, thank you, Gary from Nerdrotic, for giving a 30-minute recap of it so that we can talk about it without having to watch it.
Without having to watch the full thing. We did watch a little bit.
Yeah, true.
Jeremy User Review. Hail, Master Raven.
Hello.
Seabrew says finally got off Wi-Fi past the noob streamer state. I was not. To be fair, we were both not on Wi-Fi necessarily, but we found out that Raven plugging into the extender probably wasn't as good as plugging in directly. So that's what we're basically that's the thing we basically changed.
Yeah.
Um,
It's our little experiment for the day.
the Proctophile says, when a little robotic, but I'm sure no one minds. Are you sure you do not mind that we are robotic?
Exterminate!
You will be exterminated.
We would destroy the Cybermen with one lick. You are superior in one respect. What is that? You are better at dying.
Robo Raven. Clint Matthews, you call yourself master, but you have to be the planner. Deku leaders, I think if it's the mic, don't know. Link says if Raven's computer on the wired network, it might still be using the Wi-Fi. I think she's wired now.
I turned off my Wi-Fi.
So yeah, she's wired. If she's here and the Wi-Fi is not turned on.
Honey, did you remember to turn off Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Okay, because both of us are still going somewhat robotic here and there, but
It's probably better.
you told me not to obsess about it, so I'm not obsessing about it.
She says that she obsesses over it.
Meow.
Jose Taco is here.
Hi.
Yorch Torch Games is here. Hey, Yorch.
Hi.
Devastator says meep.
Meep, meep.
Subhuman says, when are people not mad at UTS? Good point.
That's what I said.
JPS says hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hammer Biotech says yo-yo.
What's up?
Tiger King says we're doing day shifts now. Not exactly. Again, sometimes.
Only occasionally.
Put it this way. It's either do a day shift or skip an entire week of streaming. And we've already done that. So if we have, sometimes we have, Sunday is a day. Sometimes when people aren't working, they do family events and stuff like that. So once in a while, we'll have to move it just because of that. But at least this way, we can still have a show.
Yes.
Diz the Jizz says, sadly, that sounds like a day that ends in Y. Yep. I want to address this, and I'm not throwing shade at you, okay? I want to make very clear. Tiger King says that Smash AT is bad news, TDS. Look, I'm not oblivious. I'm not saying I agree with everything that Smash has done or every take that he's had. But he's been decent to us. He's been nice to us. And I have no reason to not be friendly with him. Until that changes, I appreciate the heads up. But, I think right now, I'm going to get a judge for myself. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you letting me know. Okay, let's see the next one.
We have about 3 minutes left on the timer.
I'm trying to. The Chud King says guilt by association. Correct. Let's see. Trying to get anybody we can. Dark Intelligence says the Goonies. Joe Sex says nobody is a swell guy. Yeah, he is. We have MK in the Odyssey chat says, hi, what's up? I see you.
Hi, Odyssey!
I'm trying to get everybody. I'm not perfect. Saku Kocho says, dang, sounds like it got bad on Twitter since I left 2 weeks ago, despite some Disney adults celebrating me leaving. But that's how people are when we're not yes and to the message. Yeah, true. We care, Kek says, TOK. Fausto Solis says Warhammer time? No. Scott Hovedit says, congratulations. Revalkyrie says, clocking in for the night shift. Hail, Master and Raven.
Hello.
Mad Max says, clocking in from Texas. Hello, Texas.
Hi.
Fred evokes a Maze Queen. Says a Maze Queen. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Nor do I.
Barry Stroud says, Gary Take was brilliant, reflected most fans' feelings perfectly. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Radio Chimp says, hail.
Hi.
I think we got everybody. How's our timer doing?
44 seconds.
Wow, we got it perfect. Sweet. Let's see if we can grab anybody else. Who will be the final message? I'm gonna pick one message. Who will be it?
Tick, 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 tick.
We'll pick Yorch. Yorch says, being conversational and civilized will never have fashion. Agreed.
Thank you, Yorch. Good to see ya.
Yep. Okay. I think we're good now, right? Let's get to the super chats.
Mm-hmm. The Mace as a member for 18 months. Yo, my sister is visiting, so I'll catch the rerun. Everyone, have a grand afternoon, evening, night, morning, depending on the rotation of your location. Well, have fun with your sister, Mace.
Yep, have fun. And again, we do not private the streams. We do not unlist them. They're all available on the playlist. There's only one stream that, unfortunately, if you're in Russia, there's one stream you can't watch, but you could always just go over to Odyssey and watch it there. So yeah, don't ask. I used some music, and we used some music, and apparently Russia didn't like it. So
well,
yeah.
but there was also our Monsters movie review that got completely taken down. Wait, you did?
It.
You did?
Yeah, a while back.
When?
I didn't tell you that?
I forgot.
Okay.
Void Saint for 35 Rand. Hello, South Africa. Hello, Master and Raven and fellow night shifters. When I saw Relooted, I cringed. This DEI game studio is in my country. I'll keep my ear to the ground.
Yeah,
South Africa was already going bad, and now it's gone even worse, apparently.
Well,
Sad.
we're going to actually, so I'm going to tell you guys a secret. We heard about this. I've seen a little bit of it, Smash JT's video on it, and a couple others. I think Yellow Flash covered it as well. We have not actually watched the trailer. We're going to be watching the trailer and reacting to it as game therapy. So wait for that.
Yep.
You're going to see our reactions. We have not watched the trailer. I want to make that clear. So we're going to see it live.
We didn't even know. Where you forget, this trailer got released during our Sabbath on a Saturday. We did not know about this until that night when we came back online.
Yep.
Proctifile for $2. Just got back just in time to clock in for today's shift.
Yep. Proctifile's been away, but he got back just in time. So
Kazushiro says nothing for €2.
Apparently his message didn't show up. So I think.
So and for €5, he says, you both are your own people. Who cares who you are friends with? Continue being yourselves. You are awesome. Heart.
Yep. Thank you. And Tiger King
for $1.99 wasn't serious about the Smash remark. He's fine.
That's fine. Look, even if you were, the whole point is, like, I've had people be like, don't interact with this person. And it's like, I'm going to make my own choices, and I'm not blind to what's going on. I'm not going to blindly agree with someone just because I'm friendly with them. I don't feel like that's fair to be. I think that being friends with somebody is not just going, hey, I'm going to believe everything you say. But, at the same time, I think that actions speak louder than words. And so far, certain people have had certain actions that, I haven't agreed with, and sometimes they have actions that I do agree with, and I'll choose to agree or disagree based on their actions, not who they are as a person. So,
yes. And
not that always worked, but.
And Deku Leader says that trailer was so cringe and screamed Sweet Baby Ink. What I'm going to say to that is, it can't be worse than the Crush House.
Yeah.
If it is worse than the Crush House, then, I'll take it back and say it's worse than the Crush House until I see it.
Yep. Kazushiro, hit the like button, please. So because he did it, the Master of Ceremonies will let you know what you should do.
What do you think of this? You like it?
Do it. Obey the Master of Ceremonies.
We don't talk about the Crush House. What happens in the Crush House stays in the Crush House.
Blech.
Okay. And yeah, nothing is worse than the Crush House. Okay, fair enough. All right. So just a reminder that we do have, you do not have to, but we do have 3 tiers. Now we have 3 tiers we've done this for a while now. We finally kind of got it set. 3 tiers of donations that we hit. And so they're $100 each. You do not have to donate, but it is a thing that we have if you want to throw some support our way. And if we do, we have hat changes for the first 2, and the last one is the chair stream, right? So
yes. And you all finally got to see a Hypnotic's reaction to that clip.
I'm so glad I stole that clip. Dr. Vinny Boomat says, my grandmother always told me I don't care when you had the comics and movies. Black Panther was a white boy. The only person we believe beyond a shadow of a doubt is Chair Raven, Chair TDS, and Chair GT. Excuse me, it is Master of the Chairs. You may not call my chair so casually.
And wouldn't I be writing chair? Also,
What
you
is a
still need
chair
to
like a raven?
I don't know, but you also still need to give me a beanie for the chair.
Oh yeah, I'll do that at some point. You
Yeah.
should remind me before the stream.
I didn't remember until the stream.
Yep. Okay, currently at $18. Yeah, but again, no pressure. It's just a thing if you want to. I will say something, and we're going to get right into the topic after this. I'm going to say something, okay? And I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying this to guilt anybody or anything, okay?
What are you going to say?
Gonna say a lot of people have been asking us to stream on other platforms or asking why we stream to Odyssey. The reason we stream to Odyssey is because all of our stuff is already backed up there. If we were to go to Rumble, it wasn't. So that's the thing. People have been asking for other platforms, and recently they made it so you can actually add Kick to this. We do have a Kick. We don't use it, but we have it. And I did set it up for this. Cannot do it because we're not paying enough for the membership that lets us do more streaming locations. I would like to eventually in the future, perhaps, stream to Kick and have Raven be able to stream it to her Twitter as well. But the problem is we don't stream every single day like Smash does and other people. So we don't make enough money from donations or anything to pay for that. And I'm not saying that we have to make that. I'm just saying the reason we're not going to stream to more places right now is because we've used up all of our available slots. And we're not going to pay for more when we only stream like 4 times a month. You know, if that changes, maybe we'll change our mind. You know, we'll see. I wanted to address that. Okay. With that said, we have a packed stream for today. So let's get our blue screens on and get this show on the road.
One moment, please. Ready.
Okay. Here we go. First topic right now. Fantastic Four said tickets flew off the shelf.
But numbers tell truth. The media is telling on itself.
Crash claims got made, but no sites went down.
A media circus where the mouse is a clown.
Yeah. So we're talking Fantastic Four first steps here. Now, this movie, look, there are some people who are excited for it, and there are some people who are not excited for it. And if you are one of the people excited for it, I'm not going to diss you for being excited. And if you're one of the people who isn't excited, we're not going to diss you for not being excited.
I mean, I'm not excited. And not to mention, our favorite drink is every single bottle that we have bought for the last month has promotion for this movie on it. It's very annoying.
Especially since the promotion is Pedro on it, and it's like,
no,
I really don't need to see him.
it's not. It's the Human Torch.
Oh.
I told you that.
Maybe I'm just seeing Pedro everywhere because he is everywhere.
Fair enough.
But the thing we're going to address specifically here, we're going to talk about the movie a little bit too. But the one thing I wanted to mention in particular is there was this rumor going around, if you heard. So Disney has released the ability to buy tickets way early, perhaps because they're concerned about competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they released it very, very early. And when it happened, there was a report going around that the demand was so high that websites were crashing. Honey, can you explain to me what the problem is with that claim?
It only happened to what, one website?
That, and also there is no evidence of this claim. If you will look, we have up there in the top right-hand corner, Fandango outages reported in the last 24 hours, and it mentioned that there were 4 reports. Sorry, 12 reports. There were 12 reports.
Suspicious.
So maybe they did crash for 12 people, but I don't think that's the case. And to be fair, if that is the case, what it means is only one website crashed. One.
So why are they saying it was every website? That's more than an exaggeration. It's a straight up lie, because that didn't happen for any previous movies that have made tons of money.
Yeah, like Spider-Man: No Way Home did not have it. I don't even think the Avengers movies had it.
Nope. Deadpool and Wolverine didn't have it.
So you're gonna tell me that they bring back the Fantastic Four, and they're so amazing that they completely tank the box off. They completely tank the pre-sales and take sites offline. The answer to that is no. It doesn't believe me. And if you look, the biggest evidence is not the down detector, is not all this kind of stuff, is that if you look, and you'll see at the bottom left, Fantastic Four seating. For I believe one of the first days it's available. And honey, what can you notice?
That it's a mostly empty theater, and the only seats are probably YouTubers who are going to review it.
Exactly. Look at that. Look at that. You're going to tell me that the site's crashing and you can go to places and see that the things are not full on the first day.
How odd. It's almost like it's a total fabrication.
Look, we've also in the past reported news or stuff that wasn't true. So I'm not going to point fingers at certain places and say, oh, bad, that they did it on purpose or whatever. But if you told me they did it on purpose because somebody wanted it, maybe someone with mouse ears and a tail wanted it, I would not be surprised. I'm not making a claim because I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that this is just not doing very well. And it's not getting seats. It's not selling out. And if it's not, it's okay to say that. Now, again, I am going to say an opinion. I didn't like this movie, first off, because of Pedro being cast as Reed. And I didn't even really... I'm honestly tired of these superhero movies that Marvel are turning out. Not because I have superhero fatigue, because I have bad formulaic movie fatigue. Why formulaic?
And you're not the only one either.
Yes, but why formulaic? What do I mean? It's formulaic in a sense where these movies and whatever for superhero movies literally have this formula that Disney likes to adhere to. And that's fine. But when that happens, as when movies are made that are done well, you get good movies sometimes. But when it's a movie that's hop, clop, thrown together that just happens to have the same formula, that does not guarantee a success. So you'll see these movies that have the same kind of thing, and it's like, oh, character starts out great, character falls, character gets back up, character fights, character falls again. Gets like they have like an arc. I'm not saying that's exactly the arc that I'm describing, but it's an arc, right? Mm-hmm. And because of that, you're invested. But when you take characters and things that aren't good and you don't do a good job establishing them and you change things for the modern audience and you do all this garbage, you're creating this thing that nobody wants to watch, not because it's a bad movie, because it's just not, it becomes a slop movie.
Yeah, predictable and boring. You don't want predictable. When it comes to entertainment, you don't want predictable. It's like Pokemon. The whole reason Pokemon's growing out of favor with some people is because the video game is just the same thing every single time.
Exactly. And so is there something, like people were saying, is there anything wrong with like the Thunderbolts? Like, I've heard it's okay. Like, but the thing is, I'm not going to go into theaters for okay.
Yeah, but it's also a bunch of characters that no one's really caring about.
But even then, like, even if a movie's okay, do I really want to get up and have to spend the amount of money on a ticket and drive to the theater and do all this kind of stuff to sit there and watch an okay movie?
No,
I don't.
I don't want to see an okay movie. I want to see a good movie.
Correct. And I'm going to say this, and people are going to lambaste me about this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this. I believe, it is my opinion, that I believe that after this movie comes out, maybe I'll be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I will own this. But after this movie comes out, I believe that we are going to look back at the 2005, I think, was it?
I think it was 2005.
The 2005 Fantastic Four movie with Jessica Alba, whatever, right? And we'll look back at it and say, this is the best version we're going to get.
I still believe that is the best casting of Reed Richards ever.
Yeah, look,
it just brought him back.
I don't know, but look, we'll have to see how this does. I think that pretending that things have happened that hasn't is not a good way of selling your movie, but regardless, there are changes they're making that I don't like. I'm not a fan of Pedro or whatever, but you know what? If this movie actually does well, then we'll report on that. We're not going to bash it just because we don't like it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't do well, it's important to note, because it means that you can't bring back the first family and have it do well. That's not a good sign for future movies going forward.
Indeed.
So,
honestly, the
in other words,
are better. Honestly, some of the cartoons are probably going to be better.
So, in other words, honey, what you're saying is the cartoons don't stretch the truth as much.
But
they just
we need that. We need that as a soundboard.
Maybe. But yeah, at least it looks like they're doing Galactus pretty well, but they have the female Silver Surfer, and there's a bunch of things about this movie that make me not interested. But the point being is, this could be a movie that turns out to be really bad, or it could be a movie that's just okay. But if it's an okay movie, I'm not going to see it, not because there's anything wrong with it, but because I'm not going into the theater for an okay movie. I'm not doing it.
Me neither.
That good?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh. Let me switch back to. There we go. Annie?
Yeah. I'm back.
Screen of death.
I'm back.
We have returned.
Yay!
So I am noticing that you're roboting a little more. I don't know why.
Really? I thought you were the one roboting.
We are both plugged in, so it should be fine.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, you hear me, see and hear me roboting. I see and hear you roboting. What the heck is going on?
I see Escape Box is here.
Hello,
Congratulations, Raven and Master TS. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Box.
Yeah, we showed up in his chat once. Sorry we haven't been back. We've been really, really busy. I'm not good. Once in a while, I'll pop into streams randomly if I have time, but I can't do it all the time just because it's not possible. I get distracted by other things or have other things to do. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing, that they're just not excited about the movie. And, there's a lot of things going on with the movie that just doesn't make me interested. It's not that there's like anything wrong with the movies necessarily, but it's like it's a formulaic Marvel slot movie. Why am I going to go watch another one of those? I don't want to. So people will say there's the superhero fatigue. I don't agree. I think it's bad formulaic movie fatigue. It's like there's nothing inherently wrong with this movie. It's not like they're going out of their way to necessarily make things woke or whatever. But
the cast Pedro Pascal.
Yes, I'm not saying there isn't anything quote unquote woke in it. I hate using that term. But the point I'm making is that literally there are times where, they're not doing anything that's like, this is terrible, I can't watch this. Like, yes, making Sue the leader and Pedro and whatever. Yes. Okay. But again, it's not about that. It's about like, if there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just not great, why am I going to watch this? Like, I'm not going to go to the theater. I can watch it at home. I'll just wait for like 2 weeks. They'll rush it out onto a streaming service and I can watch it there.
Yep.
For cheaper. Why would I waste my time getting up and going to a movie when I don't know I'm not going to enjoy myself as much? Like, I'm just not. Like, it's gotten to the point where people don't go to movies anymore unless they have good word of mouth.
That's unfortunate, but true.
Slot fatigue, yep. Hello, indeed, your content has been lethal. It's like, I'm sure the shadow taxes will come eventually. Oh, they don't like us already. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Tomo
Yeah.
arigato, Mr. Roboto. Yep, we all went robotic. Yep.
Oh,
But
well.
that's the thing, is that they don't take any risks. They make a formulaic slot movie and then go, look, we put characters in it you like, right? Or you don't dislike. And it's like, okay, but I'm not interested in that. Like, I'm just not.
Yeah. Bye.
You know, it's even cheaper. Sailing on the high seas. I'd rather wait for that. Yeah, true. Yeah. But, okay. Even when I recommend good movies, no one goes. Ticket prices are expensive. You don't want to go for a good movie. You want to go for like, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to have a blast. You know, like, let me ask this. Putting aside Minecraft for like the you know, meme of it. When was the last movie that people went to and like genuinely were like, I loved this. I had a good time.
Sonic. Nosferatu. And those are the only ones I can think of. Sonic and Nosferatu.
Like, I can't think about it. Like, I'm remembering going to go see like Deadpool and Wolverine, or we didn't go see that.
No, we didn't.
But like, it's not even that the tickets are too expensive.
When was the last time we went to a movie theater?
It's just like there's nothing good to go see. I'm not going to make my whole day around going to a movie, even if it's good. I want an amazing movie. People are saying Top Gun, Avengers Endgame, Sinners. Like, these are things that like.
Oh, but when was the last time we went to a movie theater?
A while. It's been a while.
I don't remember. Do you remember which movie it was?
To be fair, we've been in a period where we're not able to go to the movies. So.
Yeah, I mean, Sphera, but what was the last movie we saw in theaters? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
One of the Sonics or the Green Man or something else.
It wasn't the Green Man. That was really a while ago. We last saw Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, yeah, but that technically wasn't... No, wait, you're right. We did go to see that re-release in theaters. And
we did. Don't. You don't.
What?
You better not forget that.
Sorry. Took me a moment to remember. Thank you for reminding me. And then we went to the live showing of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep, that was nice. We actually have recordings of that up on the channel if people want to see that. We don't show ourselves, but we're there. You can hear Raven laugh. I did a pretty decent job.
It was great. My in-laws came. Master's parents came with us, and apparently it was the first time my mother-in-law had ever seen the movie. Was at the live show.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the super chats. You got one.
Clint Matthews, been a member for 2 months. Fantastic Four is already a tough seller to normies than characters like Spider-Man or Wolverine. A Fantastic Four film has to be exceptional, in my opinion.
100%. It has to be. And I honestly don't think we've gotten those movies. I'm sorry. I think that here's the thing. This will tell you when I endorse the movie. I have rewatched the 2005 Fantastic Four multiple times. The second one, we did not speak of it. But the first one, I've rewatched it. Is it the best movie ever? Not really.
Not really.
But is it good enough to watch again? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kamchi for $4.99. What everyone beef with Smash AT? If it's minor disagreement, like I don't want to buy Switch 2, but my cousin do, that's nothing wrong. That's nothing, and worry future gaming now.
I don't know. Look, I'm gonna say that, like, you know, Smash. I will say this, and I don't think this is unfair to say about Smash. He does sometimes. I'm trying to say it in the nicest possible way. I'm trying to say it in a nice way. Give me a second. Like, he sometimes over-exaggerates or over-fixates on certain topics. To be fair, I do the same thing. So it's not a normal thing. But I can understand why some people may not like that. Like, for example, you know, he's in a lawsuit with somebody. Not going to name names because I know this person watches us. But, like, he makes a lot of videos on her. And because of that, like, some people may not like that. You know, that's fine. You don't have to like it.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, I have no problem with it. I understand why some people might. I'm not saying that's exactly the reason. I'm saying it's just, that's a reason I could think of. I don't have anything against Smash, and I don't think anything's wrong with Smash at all. I just think that, people can have certain, and it might just be people don't like him because they're just not their cup of tea. That's fine too.
Of course.
Okay, let's get into our first topic. We're not even close to tier 1, which is okay. Let's get into our first, our media therapy. We have some interesting media therapy for today. I saw someone actually mention it in the chat, so we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into this media therapy. Ready, honey?
Yes.
So last week, something came out that I realized that I saw people posting about it, and I was like, "Oh no, hide it from Raven. We don't have shelf space." And then they came up with a video. So it's a video. It's about 45 seconds long. We are going to watch this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
However, we are going to pause it frequently because I don't want to get hit by copyright. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Or we could just mute it.
I guess we could do that.
I'd say mute it.
Ever since
There we go.
It's muted. Now we can just see what they're doing and not hear a word.
Lego One Piece based on the live action. So keep that in mind.
And as a fan of One Piece, I can say that the live action was actually very good. For once.
It does look really good, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we get a more Lego series of stuff?
Because Lego series these days suck. The Going Merry as the
Your mic caught like none of that.
The Going Merry as a Lego set. I want it.
Let's play it through
I
one more
want the
time.
Going Merry. Oh, the Going Merry. Lego 40K is never going to happen, even though GW would make a ton of money from it.
This looks good. I mean, obviously, I think most things in Lego could be pretty good. I know people were saying, why are they doing this with the live action and not the anime? Because it's easier.
Mm-hmm. I guess because it's easier to make Lego based on live action than it is on cartoons.
It depends. I don't know, honestly, because it got more attention from the Netflix stuff. You have to even whether you like it or not.
Yeah, because when it was just an anime and a manga, it was more niche. Netflix made it more mainstream.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks good. We'll have to see how much money they're going to charge us. If we chop off both of our legs or one of our legs and an arm.
A shame we can't have the chop for it like Buggy the Clown.
Yeah, because then we could hopefully get a refund. No, I'm just
kidding. That actor for Buggy was amazing.
Yeah, they did some pretty good stuff there. Hold on, I wanted to read. Basically, just keep an update worry because he's hanging on the line of everyone for gaming free speech. I understand that. I'm just saying, like, if you, for example, subscribe to his channel and the Smash JT Live channel, you may think that he does it a little bit too much because he does cover her sometimes more in those videos. So I could see why someone might have an issue with that. That's all. I'm not saying that I have an issue or I don't have an issue or whatever. I'm just saying I could understand why people have different opinions. To be fair, different strokes for different folks. So you only need one kidney, you half your liver. Yep. Gonna be eating ramen for weeks.
I love
Netflix
ramen.
owns the right to live action series, so it's easier to use than a starting point for Lego version. That's true.
Fair enough.
Yep. Alrighty. Okay, let's move on to our next topic then. Let me get our screen up and running.
Hold on a moment.
I'm gonna take a drink quickly.
Good idea.
One Piece was never niche. People in America don't like cartoons. That's true. I'm just saying it got more attention from the Netflix stuff. You have to recognize that. There are people who don't like the Netflix stuff, and they have a valid reason not to like it.
Also, I think you should put down the on-screen chat because it covered up part of the last rhyme.
Okay, I guess we could do that. That goes very pricey. Yep. All right. One Piece has too many chapters. I think it has too much filler, and I do know that Netflix
It's over 100 volumes of manga.
Yeah, and Netflix is making a version of it that's going to cut out most of the filler, so maybe that'll be better for me.
But there's already that.
Yes, honey, but they're doing. Remember, they're remaking the anime.
Yeah, but there are already versions of episodes that are literally just the whole arcs summarized.
Yes, honey, but it's different when they're just going to cut out most of the filler. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know the details. I'm just saying I know what it is.
Okay.
Oh. Hey, honey, would you like a windmill village?
No.
I buy that. God, I'm going to chop off my legs.
I want the Going Merry.
It's $140. Yeesh.
I used to have the Dumbstrang ship. What's your point?
I like the blue. It's for we make stuff out of our videos sometimes. So that's what we do. We have the blue screen so we can remove it and repurpose stuff from the stream. If people either know or don't know, I don't know.
I don't care.
You're streaming early today. I'm watching on my lunch break. Yep, we're streaming early today just for this week, and we'll be back to normal after this week. Everybody donate money to the cause for Raven. Okay, since you mentioned it, here we go. Where is it? Here you go.
That's the stuffers out of those ugly old piggybacks of yours! Come on, kids, give me all your money. It's for a good cause. Me! Come on.
I love that clip. Shall we begin our topic?
I know that reference. Okay, let's get into the topic. Here we are. Topic number 2.
Hooray!
Ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Black Panther's son stole the throne with skin pale as snow.
Legacy flipped. It's not the Wakanda we know.
They swapped the crown's color and broke all the rules.
The backlash online has fans looking like fools.
Yes. So I want to address one thing you'll notice right away. I did draw an arrow to a character. Turns out that's not the character, but I did want to make a reference to him, so I'll explain. I'm not saying that character is the same character. Okay? I want to make that clear. Let's address what happened here. So Marvel has made, in a recent comic, they've made the Black Panther's son white, a white child. And so he beats T'Challa, and so the new Black Panther is now white. They did the meme.
And he looks like a redhead too. Shocking. Or is he blonde? Nah, yeah, he looks blonde. He looks blonde. The joke, the meme is the meme in the original meme is that he was a white redhead. Because it's always the redheads that get replaced by black people. Really?
If you look at the meme, which is in the top left corner, you'll see it's like Ryan Gosling as.
I always thought it was just a random redhead.
That
doesn't look like Ryan Gosling to me.
It's yellow hair though.
Yeah, but I never thought it was Ryan. It was specifically Ryan Gosling.
I don't know if it's supposed to be Ryan Gosling.
I just thought it was a random drawing of a white redhead in place of a black person.
Let's stop. Stop.
Sorry.
Where are you seeing the red? Okay, no, stop it. Where are you seeing the redhead?
I live with you. It looks similar to your hair. In certain lighting.
I hate to break it to you, it is blonde, like very blonde. Like I don't know how you're looking at that and seeing it's a redhead.
Maybe because of the red background? I don't know.
Are your eyes playing tricks on you?
I don't know. I know I'm not colorblind.
Okay, I was just checking because that would be a very weird thing to find out while we're in the middle of doing this.
I'm not colorblind, I assure you. I see the spectrum.
I mean, you are a bad kitty. And do cats see all the spectrum? I don't know.
I have no idea how cats see.
Anyway, so
awkward.
So, yeah, this is a thing now. And the thing we're talking about, why is this news? Well, it's news because the people out there who get very angry when you dare to point out, hey, they race swapped the right character into a black character, they go, oh, it wasn't for you. We want to see ourselves in it, blah, blah, blah. They are up in arms over this. How dare Marvel change a black character into a white character?
Oh no, whatever shall we do? Not as fun when it's on the other side, is it? Yeah, pansies.
Now, earlier, as I wanted to show, so I found out the name of this kid is not the same name, but there is actually a White Panther already. He's called the White Wolf, and he's an adopted, brother to T'Challa, I believe. Again, I haven't read the comics in a while, so you'll have to forgive me. He's the adopted brother of T'Challa, and he is named Hunter, and he was put in basically in charge of the Hazuzarat. I think that's how they pronounce it. I'm probably butchering it, but they're
which is basically an elite guard force.
Yes, an elite guard force, and wears, as you can see, a white looking panther suit. He's called the White Wolf. So they've already done this kind of somewhat before. This is different because it's T'Challa's son.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I care about this? Not really.
Yeah, me neither. I just think it's funny to watch everyone scream and cry.
Yes, that's what we think is interesting. I don't care if they make him white, as long as the story is good. What I care now, do I think that the Black Panther should be white? I don't really think. I think that having the Black Panther be T'Challa and his descendants and stuff like that makes sense. Making one white, I don't really have an issue with it. But I don't think it needed to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't. And not to mention that the whole mystical plant that gives the Black Panther lineage their powers only is supposed to work on the royal family. So,
well, to be fair, if this is T'Challa's son,
then it technically would work on him. Yes.
Now,
but they look nothing alike. But they look nothing alike.
I don't know if this is an alternate timeline. I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't read our comic, and the reason is because I don't care. I just simply thought it was funny because the people online who scream and shout and tell you how terrible a person you are for not liking race swaps are screaming about a race swap because it's the reverse.
Yeah, I love watching hypocrites eat their karma. That's
you
not
are
a really
literally
good sentence, but that wasn't a very good sentence, but I think you all got my meaning.
I guess. But what I was saying was that it's funny because we've all said, hey, if we change the Black Panther to be white, would you like that? They're like, no, of course not.
And but then voila! They don't like it.
Yes, but here's the thing, okay? You cannot, and I'm repeating this for emphasis because I'm going to clarify why I think this is a stupid argument that people make, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be okay with race swapping a white character to a black character and then not be okay when it's doing the opposite. You cannot. It is not, it's non-negotiable. I see people in the comments already. It is non-negotiable, and I'll explain why.
Why?
Okay? And I hit you with it.
Okay.
If it is done for the same reason, you cannot get mad. The reason you guys most bring up for why that race swapping is okay is because there's so many white people and black people just want to see themselves on screen and it doesn't hurt you and it doesn't change the story and blah, 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 blah. Right?
Usually that's the argument, yes.
But if this is the case, it works both ways. So if you're saying that you cannot see yourself as a black person in a white character, then the alternative would be that a white person cannot see themselves as a black character.
What? No way.
So if that is true, which by your logic it is, what this also means is that by changing the Black Panther into a white man, for the first time, white people are going to be able to see themselves as the Black Panther. That is based off of the logic that these people provide. Am I wrong?
You are not.
So let me ask you then, Why is it okay when we change characters to black characters so you can quote unquote identify with them, but when it's done for white people, it's not okay?
Because
your mic picked up part of that.
Because
yeah, and that's the thing. Now, there might be some legitimate reasons. Again, I don't think this needs to happen. I want to make it clear. I think there are some characters that stick to their heritage, whatever. These people sometimes will say, well, it's a heritage, you can't change it, whatever. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And they will say, well, if it doesn't change the character, right, that it doesn't change the story, it's not a problem. But in this case, how do you know it doesn't change the story? How do you know this changes the story? How do you know?
It's not like most Wakandans are going to see their king in public.
That, and also, hey, if he didn't remove his mask, you'd have never known.
Yeah, that's true.
So here's an interesting question. Okay. What if it turns out, I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm going to blow these people's minds, okay? Wait for it.
Oh?
What if it turns out that the entire time, the Black Panther has actually been a white guy in the Black Panther suit? You just never got to see it.
Say that last sentence again?
What if the entire time that you have seen the Black Panther, when he's fully in a costume, it has actually been a white guy under there and you just never knew?
No way!
How would you know? Please explain.
You wouldn't.
And if you wouldn't know, right, then you can't get upset about it. Now, I'm not bringing it up to try to make that point or whatever. I'm trying to say this. We need to be able to identify with characters on screen that look like us, which is a stupid argument to begin with. But if that is the argument you're going to use, it works both ways. So you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot be okay with it one way and not the other. If you do, which is your choice, but if you do, you are a hypocrite. Point blank.
Agreed.
There is no other interpretation. If you are okay with changing characters so you can see themselves in them, but you are not okay with the reverse being done, don't care if it's, well, it's always been black people in Wakanda, whatever, doesn't matter. Then you cannot get mad. That is simply how it works. It is simple logic. I am using your logic against you. Not fun when it's used against you, is it?
No, it is not. Then again, their logic is always flawed and can't really be considered logic anyway.
Yeah, but you'll wait. They'll go, you're racist. You're a terrible person for liking this. I don't like this. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll look at it and go, okay, I don't see a problem with it. But if you do, and you have a problem with it, then you are also saying, by having a problem with it, that you are actually proving the people who have problems with race swaps in general, you are proving them correct.
Vindication!
So either way, you lose. So best thing I can tell you is, what is it they always say? How about be quiet, don't watch it, don't read it, it wasn't made for you?
Pretty much.
White Panther wasn't made for you. Did I do it right?
It was. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it wasn't made for you. Don't watch it. Cope, see, mauled, read. Okay? I covered all the bases.
Ta-da! You're welcome.
Yep. So, yeah.
I think that's it.
That's all I had to say. Whee! We're back. Their logic isn't logic. God, the Riri. It's not a big deal when it's raised up in their favor. I find this funny. One group appreciates, the other appropriates. Master Tia's visa to Wakanda has been denied. How do you know I'm not already there?
Why? Because he's a redhead?
How do you know I'm not already there?
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. What if, guys, plot twist.
What?
What if I'm the guy in the Black Panther suit that you never see? Dun dun dun.
That would make no sense because you're always with me.
Yep. It's not open to negotiation. Yeah. It's not even raised up to the new character, not T'Challa. Yep, that's true. But they'll say it's a race swap. That's what the thing. They're crying and screaming and yelling about how it's a race swap and we can't do this. And it's like it's ridiculous. It's like we have, and it's okay to recognize that. Hey, people who don't like race swaps or don't like whatever, guess what? Guess what?
What?
It's okay. It means that maybe, just maybe, people who don't like race swaps aren't racist.
You mean they just want to see the characters as they know them?
You still have TDS and Raven stickers. You mean the partner in crime one?
We have stickers? Oh yeah, we do have a partners in crime sticker. Everyone go buy our merch.
Yeah, we do have merch. Fair warning that this is probably going to get clipped, so idiots freak out about it. Okay, then I will make sure to clip the rest of the context.
Which sentence?
I don't know which one, but I'll make sure to clip the context, and then if they get mad, I'll be like, okay, so here's the full context.
Heh.
Yep. But that's pretty much it. Like, look, I think that there was no reason to make this change. Hazu Zaraze, yes, that's what I meant. I'm terrible with the names. Who's the mother? I don't know.
Obviously not Storm.
She's the master of Wakanda. Raven needs new glasses. Reddish blonde. Bad kitty. There's a Ryan Gosling meme where he's T'Challa. Okay, so I was referencing the right thing. But
yeah, but it wasn't the drawing. Someone just put Ryan Gosling's face on the Black Panther suit.
Oh, the White Panther wasn't made for you? Oh, I'm going to give the context and say, isn't that going to make it was be like, yes, the point was I was making fun of you. Congratulations. And now you're getting mad about me making fun of you, proving that my making fun of you had a point. Thank you.
Fascinating.
Weird how that works. It's almost like when I literally play you guys, you fall for it.
Every time.
Yep. By the way, just want to point out, as of 6 minutes ago, they are still mad at me on Twitter about that post about the Brass Lion game.
Why?
Because how dare I point out that they were involved in a game? Speaking of games that people don't like, that's a good segue to our topic after the super chats.
Mermelade for $2. Silence. Youngblood Ray for 5. Tinfoil hat on, but this feels like Christopher Priest giving Marvel payback for not letting him write Spider-Man like he wanted to. Possibly.
Yep, I agree. I did hear about that. There was things to say, but I just think it's funny that, like, that's all you want to talk about. Like, haha, these people are literally, getting mad about the thing that they say we can't get mad about.
Yeah. That's
also,
the fun part.
MK over on Odyssey says, I don't want to see myself as a Black Panther. Who decided dressing up like a cat and attacking people with Lee press-on nails was a good idea?
I don't get it.
They're basically saying they don't want to see myself in Black Panther because they don't want to put on press-on nails and attack people.
Ah.
Okay. But TDS, Black people don't hold these power, so it's okay to race up white people somewhat. Okay, and how do we know that this white person holds holds any systemic power? What if? Hear me out. In Wakanda, white people don't hold systemic power, correct?
I mean, there aren't any.
Well, yes. So wouldn't that mean it's okay then, by that logic, to swap the character because white people are another minority? See? Again, all I do is turn their logic back on them. So it's like, okay, you say that, well, it's okay to do it for Black people because it's a minority. Okay. So in Wakanda, white people are the minority, so that makes it okay then, right?
I mean, it's true. You make a
Does
very
it
good
not?
point, my dear.
Does it not? It makes a great point.
You make a very great point, my dear.
Yep. Alrighty, let's get into our game therapy. We're not going to mute this one. We're gonna pause it to react to it. Speaking of terrible games that nobody wants to play or getting mad about online, we are going to go and take a look at the trailer for Reloaded, I think is what it's called.
I believe so. I don't remember.
Okay, give me just a sec. Taking a
Sure.
drink. So much talking.
Actually, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. I suddenly need to step out.
Okay, you okay?
I'll be right back.
I'm in control now. I'm just kidding. How the tables have turned. Yep. Oh no, are you saying you can't be racist them in Wakanda? The horror. Yep. Can't be racist to them. Think about it. Like, if they're, according to what we were told, right? You can't be minorities can't be racist, right? And in Wakanda, white people are the minority, so they can't be racist. Master is inside our braids. He controls the channel. I mean, to a certain degree. Here's what I have to say about that. There, you're welcome. Oh yeah, Proctophiles says minorities have to work twice as hard to be racist. Yes, because this is actually, again, I'm going to get mad about this. Okay, you're going to get mad about this. Kim Allaire said in an interview at one point that black people work twice as hard as white people. Therefore, they should be given more benefits and stuff because they have more experience, whatever, and they have to work twice as hard. Also, in one other thing, apparently, I think at a panel, one of the people said that being professional is white supremacy. So, yeah. The panels are fun. They suck, and they drain my soul, but they are a thing. But again, these people are so... And again, by the way, they're mad because I dared to point out that this game was fun. But again, I'm going to challenge people right now. Go, if you're on Twitter, go look at my post about the game, the Wu-Tang Clan game. Please point out where I posted anything that is saying it is woke or racist, or that I don't like black people. Please do. Because if you can find it, I will remove the post. I promise you now. If you can find where I posted it, I will remove it. I will delete the post. The reason I'm so confident is because you're not going to find it because there's nothing there. Weird robotic noise for a sec there. Well, what am I supposed to do? I've done everything I can to make this better. I'm plugged in. Oh no. I don't know if I want to. Mike squawked for a second. Do better. I've done better. Leave me alone. No. I don't know what you made Raven's Storm, which does not work. And then you put my face over the Ryan Gosling meme. Really? By the way, good opportunity to mention, you should join our Discord. We do stuff there. This is so... That does not work, Marmalade. You know what? I might just post it and I'll tell you why. Do you want to know why? I might post it because if I post it, maybe they'll get mad at me for that and they'll stop getting mad at me over the other posts. Honey, are you back?
Yeah, hold on. I'm here.
Where are you?
Sorry. I'm here. I'm sorry.
You should be.
What did I miss?
I'm a minority, but by Kim Miller's like, that means they get unprofessional. Well, you have to be unprofessional because if you're not unprofessional, then you're white supremacy, according to them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That was the stupidest thing ever.
Speaking of the stupidest thing ever, let's get into our actual game therapy. Time for game therapy.
Woo!
Here we go. All right. So this game called Reloaded came out while we were offline, and we have not seen it. I know a little bit about it, but we have not seen the actual trailer. So we are going to react to it we're going to pause, obviously, as we go, so we don't get copyright claimed, which they like to do. But we're going to react to it.
This is our first live viewing, our first viewing in general, and we're reacting to it live.
Again, I know something about this because I've seen people's videos a little bit and whatever, but I have not watched the trailer.
I know nothing. I'm going in this half blind.
We are reacting to this trailer completely blind. Ready?
Yes.
Treaties were signed, promises made and broken. Is it stealing to take back what was stolen?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it stealing to take back what was stolen?
All you have to do is negotiate to buy it back.
Is it stealing to take back what was stolen?
Yes.
Yes. That's like saying
stealing.
That's like saying if someone steals something from you, from someone and gives it to you, then it's not stealing when you take it. Wow. Okay, let's keep going.
Stolen? Who is stealing them?
Us.
Hopefully not in those outfits.
What the hell are they wearing?
What are those earrings?
Gaudy.
I mean, maybe this is their culture, but I'm looking at this, and I'm sure it's a cultural thing, but I'm looking at this and looking like it looks really uncomfortable to wear that many rings around your neck.
Also, those teeth look fake.
Honey, it's a video game. Also, can I ask why one of her eyebrows has like a line in it? Do you notice that?
Yeah, it's something that characters sometimes have, a random line in an eyebrow. I don't know why.
It's kind of annoying.
It's supposed to be like a scar, I think, but I actually don't know.
Okay, let's keep going.
It's time to get out of there.
Let me introduce a friend of mine.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. It went from I didn't understand, it was weird, to I have no idea what's going on now. I'm gonna be. Can I be mean for a minute? Can I be mean? It's gonna sound racist, okay? And it's not racist. I want to make that very clear.
Just
but
say
this is supposed to take place in like Africa, correct?
I don't know. I know nothing about this game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. If this is supposed to be in Africa and they're stealing back like African stuff, how do they have this advanced technology? Because I was told multiple times that in Africa and stuff like that, they're technologically behind. Would that be correct?
Maybe they're from Wakanda?
So, even if it's an Afrofuturist game, like, where do they get... You can't...
Wakanda.
You can't be oppressed and be in the future where you have access to this technology. It just doesn't work to me. That's my opinion.
You actually know, you make a good point.
I make a decent point. You can't say, I'm oppressed. By the way, I have robots that steal things for me. Doesn't really work, in my opinion.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, because if you're if you have this much technology, that means you have this much prosperity, which means you're absolutely fine. Why do you need to take back the relics?
Also, if you have the ability to buy whatever this technology is, I would assume it's still probably not cheap, right? But if you had
Definitely
the
not.
money to buy the parts or buy one of these things, why could you not have just used that money to buy back the artifacts that you want?
Exactly what I said at the start. Just negotiate to buy the relics back. No need to go through all the heist crap.
Yeah, if you have the money to make robots, why can't you just go and use the money to buy back the stuff?
Because they're dumb?
I don't have to buy it back when it was stolen. Yes, you do. It was taken from me, so I don't have to pay you. I could just take it.
Why not just be the better person and do the negotiation? And then
I don't
let karma come back to bite the other guy.
But wait, I'm just pointing out that they're going to say, right? They're going to say, well, these were stolen from us, so we don't have to pay to them to come back. Again, that is not how life works. I am sorry.
And it also doesn't really make sense.
So let's say this. Let's say you pay somebody for something and they give you an inferior product, right? And then they refuse service to you. You can't say, oh, well, you didn't give me what I wanted, so I'm going to steal what I want from you and it's okay because I paid for it already? A bad analogy, because you get the idea is that if someone steals something from you, like stole from you, that's fine. If they stole from ancestors or whatever, you're gonna make a claim that it is being stolen, right?
Then just
you still have to pay for it.
Yeah, use this clear prosperity from technological advancements that always results in economic prosperity, aka money, and just buy the stuff back. No need to go through all these extra steps.
Yeah,
Let's just continue.
But also, again, who gives you the right to be the people to steal it back? How about an actual descendant of who got it stolen?
Huh, that's a good point.
Yeah, if they were stolen from them, fine. But if it's stolen from my ancestors, whatever, who says they're 100% your ancestors? You don't know. And second,
also,
it's not how that works.
Yeah, and your ancestors are dead. They're not going to care.
Smart, agile, and will let you look into places with the tightest security.
Wait, so this robot lets you have X-ray vision?
Apparently?
So illegal?
Quite. Why didn't you disable the security system if you're going to be stealing something?
It's better to run fast. I'm sure they won't catch you with futuristic technology. I'm sure they don't have laser grids or any of this stuff that they've already shown in here.
Again, why not disable the security first? Every other heist movie does it.
Because they're smart enough to have robots, but not smart enough to disable the security.
These are the worst thieves ever.
I could probably bench press every one of you.
I could probably bench press every one of you. Sure.
It was a woman saying that. It was a woman saying that, so definite X to doubt.
Press X to doubt. I'm sorry.
More.
Wait, is she punching the door?
That or he made it intangible?
I want to see that again.
Yeah.
Is he punching the door?
I see a gear around his hand.
Oh, he's unlocking it. I'm sorry, it was so badly animated, I thought it was unlocking it.
Hold on!
What the hell is going on? Also, you keep pausing at the worst times.
I'm trying to get...
I know.
Listen, are you having second thoughts?
You stole a skull.
Listen, are you having second thoughts about this game? Yes. I don't understand what we're looking
Me
at.
neither.
Nope. Just
Look at that face.
No, what? Just what?
hoping you won't get me killed.
Yeah.
Just hoping you won't get me killed.
Maybe you would, if you disabled the security system, you'd be
Because
able to
so
not be
there are.
killed.
I have heard of secure. Because what are futuristic places, and usually in the movies or the games, they have security systems that have literal gun turrets.
I see Asian Swordmaster in the chat. Hi, nice to see you.
Sup? But what the hell are they wearing?
This is literally Concord.
Uh-huh.
This looks like Concord.
Also, is the big one a woman? Is that the one who said
Wait.
that she was going to bench press everybody?
Wait, is the purple with the blue, is that a woman or a man? I can't tell.
I think that's a man, though the big buff
What
one
is you?
to the
What are you
far
wearing?
The big buff one to the far right is female. The one with the glasses and the pink is a male. Then middle and the back, male. Left side, back, male. Front, left, female.
I'm just gonna say something.
Yeah?
The woman on the far right,
I
Gorlock.
can't. No one. I couldn't hear a word you just said.
No, because you're glitching out.
You were glitching out.
Well, you were glitching out on my end.
You were glitching out on my end. But what did you
Well,
say?
I said that woman on the far right is Gorlock. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me it doesn't look like Gorlock.
It does. That face does look like Gorlock. Oh, wow. Oh, dear.
Apparently I bought it, but so did you on my end. So I don't know.
Interesting. Damn, why is that guy wearing a crown?
I know what you and your little crew are doing.
Being idiots?
Well, that makes one of us.
Nobody threatens my family or my friends.
Wait.
Whose family and whose friends?
Wait. Nobody threatens my family or friends. They are threatening family and friends because you are robbing from them.
Dumbass.
You are robbing them. And they're like, hey, don't rob us or I'm going to do bad things.
Yeah, cause and effect. Ever heard of it?
What? What? I gotta rehear that.
Uh-huh.
Nobody threatens my family.
Are doing.
Nobody threatens my family or my friends and gets away with it.
You're literally robbing people and you're going, I'm being threatened.
You're the one committing the crime, you idiot.
If you are committing the crime and people are threatening you, it is, as my wife already said, it is cause and effect. You do bad thing, people get mad. People get mad, do bad thing.
Yeah, ever heard of karma? It's a real thing. It's a real force in the universe.
You'll get away with it. Here's an idea. How about you stop stealing and then you won't have a problem?
Also, why are you calling your cohorts your family and friends? How do you know these people?
They're my family and friends. Also, by the way, if we get caught, we might die, but it's okay. I love them, my family. No one threatens them, literally dies.
There's no history to this game. For all we know, they only met earlier in the day.
Who knows?
So we are going to do whatever it takes to take back Africa's belongings. And we're
To take back Africa's belongings. And then what?
Okay. Can I ask a question? Hi,
Yeah.
question from the audience. So who made you in charge of what is or isn't Africa's property?
And also, what gives you the right to take it?
Also, how do you determine what is the property of Africa and is something you're allowed to take?
And why do you have the authority to declare all of this? Eh, lady?
Just saying.
Asking the real questions here.
going to do it together.
I got no words.
What am I looking at? It's like a giant zip line for no reason. Oh, the guy was using it. Okay. The guy was grappling the... You have all this technology, and you can't turn off the security.
Wow. Whoever made this game did not think that through.
Wait, what is that guy doing? Breaking the wall. Why am I being threatened? I'm causing property damage. Why am I being threatened?
Because you're being a criminal,
That didn't get picked up at all.
Because you're being a criminal, you freaking idiot.
Literally. How you literally are causing property damage. No one harms my family and friends when I'm causing problems and stealing and breaking things. Guess what? What if this person who's threatening you has family and friends that you are putting in jeopardy because you are damaging their property and causing them to pay money to repair it, and that money doesn't go to their families?
Huh. Ever think of other people?
Oops.
No, you only think about yourself. Okay.
Also, if here's a tip.
Acrobatics.
Here's a tip. If you're gonna rob somewhere, maybe like don't wear bright colors.
Yeah.
Just saying, like you're wearing bright colors. Like, please arrest me.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure I look correct.
I need to make sure I stand out while I'm committing a crime.
I gotta make sure they get my good side. Also, why am I being threatened?
Oh, no!
Consequences of your actions.
No way. Those are a thing? Still not worse than Crush House. Also, what is that pink robot at the side?
I know. That's what I was looking at. What is that pink robot? Again, you are robbing people, correct? The least you could do is spray paint your clothes black.
Uh-huh. There's a reason...
No, we don't look trendy.
Yeah, there's a reason thieves wear black. What, are you trying to differentiate between every single character? Because you all have clearly different faces and personalities, so it's easy enough to tell you all apart. Plus, you stand out too much. You're not very good. If you're trying to be thieves, you're not very good at thieving. Oh,
also,
yeah, Deca-Leader's right. Deca-Leader's right. Wear a mask at least. You're holding a mask. Why not put it on?
They hold the mask. They don't. Wait a minute. Look at the face on the mask. And her face?
It's the same face.
It's the same face.
It would probably fit her perfectly, and she's not putting it on to hide her face.
Wait. Did they actually purposely do that so they could say that she was related to people, the person, distantly related, so it's okay for her to steal? I mean, look at the mask of face and look at her face. It's the same face.
Uh-huh.
They literally did that on purpose so they could say, well, it's okay because she's a descendant.
She's a descendant of the one who was robbed, and she's taking back her family property. Why not use the money made from all of this advanced technology to buy the relic back?
But if it's mine and I can steal it, why do I have to pay for it?
Because that's how the world works, you idiot. I was going to say something else, but it wasn't appropriate. Crush House is still worse. That was just, what's the word I'm looking for? Dumb?
I don't have
that
words.
That was just hilariously bad.
No, they just have a single female face model.
Okay, probably. Yeah.
DEI Phantom Thieves. Where are they stealing from?
I actually don't know. They didn't say whether it was a museum or somebody's house.
Who thinks of this stuff? Good question. By the way, just want to point out these people have only made 2 games. This is their second game, and their first game was a flop.
What was their first game? Besides a flop.
Forget the name, but it only had like 63 people playing it at peak. And on their website, they say that after their success of their other game, they're making this one. And I'm just like, but you didn't have a success.
Wait. Then it might be a game we reported on once, because I remember you saying during some of the research that they said they thought their game was a success.
It's not. And MK over on Odyssey says, why does the Black game have to be focused on stealing stuff?
A good question. What message are they trying to send?
So I assume it's more government money. That would make sense, how there'd be a successful game when you don't actually have a successful game. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, you could make your game. If you want to make your game and you want to make your own stuff, go ahead. Semblance. That was it. Semblance.
Ah.
Look, I'm not saying there isn't a market for this stuff. You can do whatever you want. I just think it's funny that they're getting upset. They're like, whoa, how dare, we're stealing back stuff and it's okay and we're being threatened. It's like, yes, because you're stealing. That's how this works. Okay. Let's get to the super chats.
Yes. Void Saint for 14 Rand. More like loot everything that's not nailed down.
Yep.
I heard your water.
Yep.
Frontival for $2. Looks like a basic side-scroller mobile game.
It does. It
You're
looks
not
like
wrong.
it looks like Temple Rush combined with Concord.
Oh my god, you're right.
Temple Run combined with Concord. Instead of running away
Oh.
from monkeys, it's reversed.
Oh my god, you're actually right.
I'm sorry,
that you
I couldn't
mention it.
help me. I am
No,
not
now that
making
you
that joke. That was a joke. I am not being racist. It was just too
But
good
you're
of an
right about
opportunity.
but you're right about it being Temple Run.
No, I was saying it's Temple Run, but instead of being chased by monkeys, it's the other way around. Instead of being a white guy being chased by monkeys, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. It was too good.
Oh my god.
It was too good of a joke. I am not being racist. It was just a joke. I thought of it in the moment.
I laughed, so it was a successful joke.
But yeah, I'm not being racist. I made a joke. You didn't like it. It's funny.
That was funny. I thought that was funny. Comchi for $1.99. Is UK and Canada funding this to weaken US and global?
Maybe, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Hold on. Rogue Attraction says Disney actually put a character called Misinformation in their parks today.
Huh? Is this true?
It's an excellent joke. I regret making it first. Everybody's mad, and it's not a joke. It's a joke. It's 100% a joke. I don't normally make it. It popped in my head, and I had to say it because it was kind of funny.
It's hilarious. It was hilarious.
It was because it was funny, not because I believe in it's true. It just happened to be a funny thing. Let's see. The Rogue Attraction. Let's see if he has it up on his thing. I'm going to look at. Nope. If there was footage of it, we would have reacted, but no, we gotta. Is Master wrong
confirmation.
though? Yes. I'm not meaning it that way, because DMing you now. Okay.
Also, hi, Rogue Attraction.
Yeah. Hi. Been a while. My headphones died.
Sounds like a you problem. That's why mine are plugged in.
I would love to have mine plugged in, but they're dead.
True.
Right, you sent the link. What the heck is this? Okay. I got it. Let's see if I can share it. We'll react to it, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
We finish up. We need to go to Midnight Marv soon. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. I'm just curious about this. Okay. Can you really see? Oh, there. Okay, wait. Seriously, misinformation is that the character at Disney? Yep. Let's see.
Hello. Would you like a picture of Al?
Hello.
Thank you very much. Thank you for participating. Or she's reprogramming me.
It might be a video. It might be a video.
I'm not sure.
Hello.
I might be getting reprogrammed. What is this again? Because I lost my small pen.
I have no idea what's going on. Where was the name misinformation mentioned? I didn't hear it.
It wasn't mentioned. Apparently, that's what they're called.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting.
Fascinating. All I thought of was, is that Barbie?
It looks like Barbie. I don't know. Anyways, we'll move on. We have other things to get to also today as well. So let's move on to our last topic here. I'm going to turn off the chat for now.
Wrong thing. This one is gonna be quite wild.
Yeah, this one I have a lot to say about.
I'm gonna pretty much let you do most of the talking for this one, honestly, because well, you have
we'll
words.
See. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Billie Piper appeared where the doctor should stand.
But credits won't name her as part of the brand.
A desperate move clinging to legends long past.
No one is fooled. The ratings still fall fast. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. So we're talking about Doctor Who. I wanted to talk about this. It's technically a little bit like older news now, but I wanted to talk about this for a couple reasons because people know that I get people are worried when I talk about Doctor Who because they're like, oh, you get really depressed, whatever. I'm not depressed. I would say maybe I'm a little annoyed at what they're doing here.
Definitely you're annoyed.
So there will be more spoilers than just Billie Piper. So spoilers for anybody who actually cares. And I say anybody, but if we're going to be honest, the last episode had only 2.17 million people overnight. So there's not many of you, but just putting it out there to be nice. Okay.
We're ready for spoilers in 3, 2, 1, beep.
Shooty Gatwa is no more. He is regenerated into Billie Piper.
As far as we know.
Well, they don't introduce her as the doctor. They're just introducing Billie Piper. So they brought back Rose Tyler. And the doctor regenerates into her. Now, I said the doctor, and I'm using air quotes. You just can't see them because I don't have hands. Well, I do, but just not in this avatar. They're off screen. But I have a couple things to say. Because there was some of the... I have not been watching Doctor Who. It's been terrible since Peter Capaldi left. I gave a little bit of a chance. It was awful. I'm not watching it anymore. The Doctor is the first black gay doctor. He's crying all the time. And he's gay, by the way. He's wearing a skirt.
He's wearing a freaking dress. I cannot take you seriously when you're wearing a dress, dude.
Yes, and I want to make very clear, this season was specifically about attacking the audience. They made... hashtag RIP Doctor Who a real thing in the show. And they also had one of the main villains of one of the episodes be an incel. And that they called it, that they literally had one of the characters announce that it was the planet of the incels. I kid you not. And they also had a podcaster.
Master at first thought the line was actually said.
Yeah, but the line was said. It was the planet of the incels. It was actually said in the show, and they had a podcaster, a straight white male podcaster, be a villain at some point. Basically, it was taking shots at a lot of the fans who didn't like the show, and it didn't bring people back to the show remarkably. I know that's crazy. But let's talk about these last 2 episodes. So it starts off with the Doctor dreaming about stuff and whatever. I don't really care. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't watched the full thing because, quite frankly, I don't care. However, when I heard a certain character came back, I had to watch the scene, and I was very disappointed.
Please explain to the audience why.
They brought back a couple characters. They brought back the Ronnie, who was a female Time Lord from the original classic series, who hasn't been seen in a while. They brought her back, and she bi-generated, just like Shooty did before, or David Tennant did before. And we'll explain the reason for that in a minute. Okay, they give a reason. They explain why bi-generation is a thing now, and you're going to literally facepalm. I'm telling you.
I mean, I certainly facepalmed several times when I heard it.
You might notice on the bottom right corner
is a skeleton monster. It's a skeleton thing.
Yes, it's a skeleton that came from like the underworld, but it is actually, for people who are familiar with the classic series, you're going to want to be sitting down for this. That is Omega,
the god of the Time Lords. Literally the founder of Time Lord Society and the person who discovered time travel.
Yes. The founder of Time Lord Society is Omega or Omega, depending on how you pronounce it. But because of the Doctor's dreaming energy, they were able to break into the underworld and bring him out. But now, since he's in the another world or whatever, he's now able to transform into actually look like a giant skeleton.
And doesn't he have a craving for Time Lord souls or something?
Yep, and then he just eats one of the Ronnies, just eats them. In the most terrible acting scene I have ever seen in a Doctor Who, and I'm being that honest.
That's actually what she sounded like.
You got cut off.
She sounded like something like.
Got cut off again.
Okay, never mind. But she sounded bad.
Just try it again, but say it less shrilly. Less shrilly. It's not getting picked up at all. You sound like a sheep, though.
I'm trying to move away from the mic.
You sound like a sheep.
That's what she sounded like.
Dr. Sheep.
Uh-huh.
But yes, so it literally eats one of the Ronnies and the other one disappears. So they set up the Ronnie and she's there.
The other one disappears because she presses a button on a vortex manipulator.
How convenient. But wait. So you think, okay, they bring Omega back. He's this awesome god bad. How long is he in the episode? 3 minutes.
Literally 3 minutes.
Because conveniently, they have a gun in the same room. Now, there might be some actual reason and explanation for this, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't watch it, so I don't care. But
yeah,
our Shooty Gatwa takes the gun that has
the power of 1,000 supernovas.
Yes,
like
just
that.
In a gun laser thing.
Conveniently contained and emitted in a single laser beam that somehow does not cause mass extinction to everything around it, and is realistically impossible.
But it's okay. He uses it and blasts Omega back in and shuts it. And
also, Master, when we saw this, Master wanted to know why Omega didn't pull the rest of his body through the portal. I said his butt got stuck, if he has one.
I think their CGI budget got stuck, but that's just my opinion. But wait.
What? I didn't catch that.
Their CGI budget got stuck.
That too.
But it was easier to do with only one half. Okay, but here's the part that really bothered me. So first, bringing back Omega after all this time and having him go out in 3 minutes for no reason is dumb. Bringing back the Ronnie, annoying, whatever. They hinted at bringing back Susan, the Doctor's daughter, and didn't do it for some reason. Doctor's granddaughter, and didn't do it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But here's what annoyed me the most. They decided to explain by generation and also explain it by linking it back to the timeless children. Are you ready for it, guys?
No,
I hope
you
you're
guys
sitting
aren't.
down.
You're not ready for this, but we're going to give it to you anyway. Begin, my dear.
So why does bi-generation exist now? Well, because ever since the events of the timeless children, all Time Lords are now sterile.
So they have to reproduce through bi-generation.
Yeah.
Isn't that great writing?
I'm kid you not. That is the actual reason
that they give.
Somehow they are. By the way, they don't explain how that works or how they made that work. At least as far as I know,
they don't. They don't explain how the events of the Timeless Children caused mass sterilization to an entire race.
Yeah, but apparently they all bigenerate now because they can't reproduce anymore, and it's the only way to have the Time Lord race reproduce.
Yeah.
So basically, they're like They're like is it amoeba or whatever that like splits into two?
Yeah, I think so.
They're like when you cut a worm in half. It's like now there's two of them.
Ugh.
I'm not saying anything to give you time to actually let that sink in. That is exactly what
that
is the explanation.
That is canon. That is the canon explanation that they give.
So it's all Time Lords can't reproduce, so they just split in two now.
Yep. Somehow, for some reason, that is canon.
Yay! What great writing. Also, to add insult to injury, they actually have Shooty meet up with Jodie Whittaker's doctor. And basically, they have a fight over who's the best doctor. And she says that he's the best male doctor and she's the best female doctor. I kid you not.
That is actual dialogue that was exchanged.
I honestly don't have words for how badly... Like, look. We've seen character assassinations. We've seen them race swap, gender swap, do whatever to this kind of stuff. And we've seen like the Last Jedi where Luke completely becomes the old man. I'm sorry. I don't think any of these hold a candle to what they've done to Doctor Who.
You think?
Literally, the Doctor is now a incel. He literally cannot reproduce. And he's going around bigenerating, and they decide to have him bigenerated to Billie Piper for some reason.
So if if they filmed his regeneration scene, who is he going to be splitting into?
Well, they don't introduce Billie Piper as the Doctor, so whatever. But yeah, so the reason they brought back a gigantic, like the god of the Time Lords, only to have him be vanquished in like 3 minutes. I kid you not, 3 minutes. With a super blaster thing. Eats one of the Ronnies and the other one teleports away. So she's in it for like 1 episode or 2, I think, like an episode and a half. Mm-hmm. And then Shooty uses a gun while wearing a skirt to blast Omega back through because Doctor totally uses guns.
And I'm going to be completely honest for a moment. Right before Shooty was Doctor, quote unquote Doctor, uses the ultimate supernova gun to send Omega back to the underworld. When he was backing away into the wall and speaking, his acting was actually very good. I actually could see elements of the Doctor in his acting there. Unfortunately, because he's in a dress, I could not take him seriously.
Yeah, and I want to say this. I've said this from the beginning, and I will say it again. Shooty had the right energy for the Doctor. The problem is he wasn't playing the Doctor. He was playing Shooty Got with a little bit of Doctor sprinkled in there.
If there had been better writing and he had actually been given better instruction, his Doctor may have been decent.
But basically, this whole thing with Billie Piper has caused the few people who were left to actually like Doctor Who to go against it as well. They're not happy with this change. And from what we've been told, there's plenty of rumors been flying around about how the show's being shelved, how it's not coming back, how whatever. And honestly, at this point, I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. Honestly, it's okay. Let the show die now. It's fine. Please kill it.
It's already dead. Right now, it's just a living corpse.
Yes, and I'm not even going to be sad about it. I'm just going to say, like, you clearly don't know how to write. I don't know how you brought back the show, Russell T. Davies, but whatever happened to you between when you brought the show back and now, clearly it mentally did something to you, and I don't know what it did, but you clearly cannot write. I don't know who wrote. Maybe someone else wrote for you, and you just won't tell us. I don't know, but whatever the reason is, you clearly cannot write. You took shots at people because you were insecure. It didn't work, and your viewership numbers have still not gone up. By the way, we can also congratulate you, though, on one thing, Russell T. Davies. Aside from alienating the fan base, congratulations on episode 4 of this season now being the least watched Doctor Who episode of all time. Dethroning the last one.
Dethroning the episode that caused Doctor Who to be canceled in the first place.
The classic series. So you have dethroned it with your episode. Congratulations. You went diverse and inclusive and nobody cared. The seals clapped for you. And then at the end, guess what? It was bad writing all along. It was not shooty. It was not everything. It was the bad writing and the way you wrote the character and all this kind of stuff. Please don't write anymore. Go back to writing your gay, whatever show you were writing. And I'm saying that meanly, but not because it's gay. I'm saying like clearly that's what you can write. And leave this show alone. Let it die. Don't just shelve it. Please kill it. We do not need it to come back anymore. You have ruined it beyond the ability, in my opinion, to fix.
Please, 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 God, just put it out of its misery. That way
No
we can all
regenerations.
that way we put it out of its misery so we can all stop suffering by proxy.
Yeah. So there's going to be a spin-off show from Doctor Who that's already produced. I think that will probably be the last thing we get. I honestly don't see this coming back, and if it does somehow get miraculously saved, I'm obviously still not going to watch it. But I don't think there's any way you can fix this at this point. I think it's far beyond the point of repair. And quite honestly, at this point, even if you could repair it, I don't think I'd want you to. Just leave it. Let it die. It's okay.
There's no hope. There's no hope, and there is no cure.
Yeah, just please let it die. It's okay. It's dead. We don't need it anymore.
Pretty much. I think that's a good place to stop. Feel better now?
No. I hate Russell T. Davies for what he did to the show.
I know.
Reboot the series? No.
That won't save
Honestly,
it.
just let it be dead. Let it be dead. It's okay. It's okay. Make a new series. It was so good. Yeah. New low record. I miss Classic Who. Congratulations, those who destroyed Doctor Who. Ooh, GGRTD. Gary got into his head. Official art erotic is watched by RTD. Yep.
Ha.
So why were there children on Gallifrey 50 anniversary amongst the others? Well, you see, the Timeless Children happened later, but happened earlier, but happened later. Don't ask questions. Just consume product and get excited for next product.
The Timeless Children was basically like, wasn't it about the past and a bunch of flashback scenes?
Yeah, this is retcon Gallifrey as a whole. Time Lords are not a fucking species, it's a mutation of Gallifrey. It's correct, but according to the Timeless Children, they were all based off the Doctor, and they killed him They killed the black baby girl Doctor multiple times to extract the ability to regenerate, and then made themselves Time Lords. Yes, so that's the reason.
Even though Omega is the first Time Lord and literally created the term Time Lord and discovered the time vortex and the ability to time travel, which brought out the name Lord, which made them Gallifreyans the Lords of Time, aka Time Lords.
But wait, it's funny. It's funny. Literally, it's like, oh, but then Shooty just supernova cannon, go!
Power of 1,000 supernovas, which somehow did not fry him to ash.
Yeah, why Billie Piper / Rose? Because they were hoping that if they did that, it wouldn't get people upset. And they were hoping also that by doing that, they would literally get people to come back. It didn't work.
Yeah.
How would this affect the Doctors? He was unaffected by this? He was. He bigenerated into Shooty. Mitosis. Yes.
Yeah, that's the term.
Everybody, how do you stereotype? This is so bizarre. Why? I forgot about the Doctor's granddaughter.
I saw Karasu was like, what? That's supposed to be Omega?
Yeah. Gothic Therapy outtakes. That's Omega. Yep. I just watched Disprove Neurotics reviews. Never finished Capaldi. Capaldi was good. He did a good job. I don't think his writing was that good, but he did a great job. He was a great doctor.
He did amazing with what he had. I am the Doctor, and this is my spoon. That was a great line.
But yeah, he's gay. Imagine he's gay. Literally, everybody's. Literally, I kid you not, though. That's what they did. They literally made that since the time was children, all the doctors are now sterile, and they have to. All the Time Lords are, sterile, and they have to bi-generate to survive.
They're now reproduced through bi-generation.
How can the Doctor be sterile? Also, the Time Lord is based on the Doctor's DNA, so why would the Rotting need Omega's DNA? I have no idea. You're going to ask me questions about bad writing, and I'm going to tell you bad writing. That's the answer.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product.
Yeah.
Or?
They also never included the Doctor being part human. That was retcon. That was retconned in the... That was a thing in the movie with Paul McGann's Doctor, and they did retcon that, I will say. I'll give them credit for that. But yeah, we're around 69. Maybe we'll hit tier 1. I doubt we will.
Mm-hmm. We're already 2 hours and 13 minutes in.
But here's the thing. Who will be left by the time it gets fixed? I just don't see it. I honestly think that they'd have to reboot the entire show. And the question is, who wants to rewatch all that?
No one. You can't just redo 60 years of a show.
I never watched Doctor Who. Somehow just too apathy to listen to something I don't know. Weird. Yep. Let's get to the super chats. We are going to finish up because we do have other places to be today, and also my voice is going. So
that's why. Oh, I have Ricola in my mouth. Bjorn Thor Gudmundsson for 3,000 Icelandic currency. Thank you very much. I don't know what those writers are on. Sorry, I don't know what those writers are on, but I kind of want to try those psychedelics. No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't know what they're on either. And quite frankly...
trust me, you do not want something that will literally rot your brain.
Symptoms may include wearing a skirt and denouncing you're gay to everybody and crying.
A lot.
And being... also, it may cause sterilization, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Lord of the Rings for $10. So wasn't there a big thing about Doctor Who not using weapons either? I remember there being a big deal in an episode about him weaponizing the sonic screwdriver as a big ethics violation. Also, hi, Lord of Reese. And yes, you're right. Doctor never uses guns.
Well, to be fair, the Doctor has used guns, in the past, but I don't know why.
when he was the War Doctor.
But here's the thing: Judy didn't even try to talk with him.
Yeah.
You'd think that having had this history with Omega, I'm not saying the Doctor and him are best buddies or anything, but you'd think that they would at least do something.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to know each other?
You're a god. By the way, blast. You're gone. Haha.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the Doctor has used guns. I know that he's used guns. I'm just saying that saying it was a established thing that he doesn't like to use guns. So the fact that Shooty grabbed it and just was woohoo, blast, it was okay. Again, maybe there was some setup to it. I don't know. And the reason I don't know is I didn't watch it.
Yeah, we didn't watch the setup. We just watched that one scene because we couldn't believe it was real.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I know he used a gun. I know he's used a gun. I'm saying that he's not supposed to like guns in the same way. That was always an established thing that the Doctor doesn't like to use guns, at least.
Which is why he
has
why he has a screwdriver, because screwdrivers repair things, not break them.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
So, you know what I like?
What do you like?
When there are people who are being annoying. And
who's being annoying and who is still sending you death threats?
It's someone on Twitter, and if you're going to do it during our show, you're going to get blocked. Not because I think you're right, because I'm busy. Bye.
Sucker.
PTSD from being the Watch Fire. He doesn't want to remember that time. Yeah, again, I'm not saying Doctor Who's been perfect, but it's been much better writing than whatever this was. By the way, Dr. Sterile, haha, we bi-generate now. Why?
Because that's why.
Because RTD said it, and so it is true. Haha, incel.
But why?
I don't know. Anywho, let's get into our last couple things here because we have stuff to do. Let's get to our...
We need to
we
get
have
to the
our
poll.
poll running. We did not hit a goal or hit any tiers today, which is a shame, but it's okay.
But
it
yeah,
happens.
it's fine. Mhm.
It was a different time.
And so yeah, because it's earlier in the day.
Yeah. Okay. So hit like to clock into the night shift. How should we celebrate hitting 15K subs? So leading the pack with 58 votes is Celebration with Guests, followed by 25% to wait till 20K make it bigger, then 15% special extra stream just us, and 1% no, people don't do that anymore. So it looks like people are saying Celebration with Guests. We'll have to plan it out. Honestly, it might not be for a while. I'm going to be honest, because
Yeah.
it's just a lot of stuff going on, and we don't have time. We stream on the weekends because we don't have much time otherwise. So yeah, I'm going to end it. Poll is over. All right, we didn't hit the goal for super chats, which is fine, and we didn't hit tiers. But we're going to go into our last topic here:
The diagnosis,
of the
and
week.
you
and we'll
will
end
need
things
to,
off.
and you'll need to lower the chat box so I can read. Thank you.
Chat box has been lowered.
Thank you.
Lowering the chat box. Congrats on hitting 15K. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Can
Every
I be
time
a
we
guest on that stream? Well, I'm open to having people on, but I'm going to say this. We have to, like, if there are certain people who we want to have on, we have to figure out how to work to get them on. And then once they're on, like we've done in the past when we've had streams with people, we've had them, the guests we wanted to have on. And then we've had, like, once they were gone, we've had other people come on, like, after from the community, which is totally fine. So it depends on what we can arrange, because I don't know when we can even go. We have to figure all that out. Okay?
Yeah.
Invite Mr. H on. That's not a bad idea.
I popped
Rip
into his
Elizabeth
chat
Slade
recently.
and,
I popped into his chat recently, and he said he wanted to have you back on.
He did?
Mhm.
Hopefully this time now that I have actually a good microphone and my avatar is not just opening my mouth and having a black thing.
Maybe you should
Maybe
reach out to
just
him
get
then.
us to be on stream. Well, it would be open to you if you'd want to. Again, we're gonna have to. Oh, you mod for him? Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, we'll plan it out at some point. Just don't expect it like right away, because we have a lot going on. So we'll probably try to plan it out at some point, and we'll give you updates as we go.
But for now,
all right. Let's get into our last topic. We didn't hit any of the tiers or the goal, which is fine.
You said that already.
Yeah, as I said, we're gonna move into the last topic. Yeah, let's think about I see people at sending things. We'll get to those things, but this is more specifically about this this special stream. So we'll see. Okay, time for the diagnosis of the week. Now.
And now it is time for the diagnosis of the week.
Where we take events from the week and relate them to a mental illness.
Because Hollywood is full of them, and you should be aware.
And we have an interesting diagnosis for this week.
Please tell.
So the diagnosis for this week is epistemic estrangement.
Please explain.
So epistemic estrangement occurs when audiences or communities become distanced from their established frameworks of knowledge and understanding due to systemic distortions, manipulations, or fractures imposed by external forces. This results in disrupted trust, fractured shared realities, and deep uncertainty towards cultural narratives once held as familiar.
In relation to today's topics, with Fantastic Four, epistemic estrangement is exemplified by how the casting, news, and corporate decisions around Fantastic Four, along with Marvel's declining brand trust, have pushed fans away. This growing distance reflects a feeling that the franchise is being manipulated, causing fans to lose their genuine connection with it.
With Black Panther, epistemic estrangement is exemplified by fans who defend race swaps in some cases, but are unsettled by the introduction of the white Black Panther. This contradiction highlights a deeper disconnect, not just with the story itself, but between fans and the underlying reality the narrative challenges.
And with Doctor Who, epistemic estrangement is exemplified by the show's turn toward lecturing fans and pushing virtue over storytelling. The heavy use of nostalgia and name drops as a way to keep fans engaged only widens the gap between the creators and their audience, leaving longtime viewers feeling alienated.
Yep, and that's why we feel this is a great diagnosis for this week.
Agreed. Wow, this ended up being a longer stream than we expected.
Yep.
Oh well.
Consider me learned. For what?
No idea.
Feel free to join us so we can make arrangements easier. Oh, okay, good. Thanks, Proxfile. That's great. You're getting the people to come into the thing. Okay. Yep. All right. My voice is going. We have other things to do today. So it's been a great stream, guys. Thank you all for being here. We didn't even get the bad kitty clip. Well, yeah. Here. What did you do today that was bad?
Nothing?
How dare you, bad kitty, you're bad kitty for not doing anything that makes me use bad kitty. Haha.
That makes no sense.
It wasn't supposed to. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna go. Will be videos on the channel from this stream and other stuff like that. And yeah, we'll keep you updated on the 15K and other things moving forward. We should be back to normal time next week, which will hopefully make our internet better.
I hope, because
yeah.
our internet has not seemed to change.
Yep. All right. But for now,
happy
that's all for now.
nightmares. Happy nightmares.
TikTok, the stream ends with midnight chimes. Pixelated therapy, cross digital lines. Hit subscribe for the void to make sense. Comment your woes, a form of recompense. Like the shadows merge in the twilight's haze, our channel's a refuge, a weird therapy maze. Can't pay a shrink, we got you fam. Laughs and guidance in this goth jam. Like the video break, the algorithm style, share with your crew. Escape life's hell, from spooky memes to advice obscure. Here's your dark solace of humor as a cure. Own the night with our ghastly delight. Vendor of laughs in the negative light. Darker than your overcooked roast. Sub to the channel that you love the most. Bell tolls, it's the end time fair. But your issues, leave them right there. Strings of crypt, bury your dread. Return tomorrow for the undead.
I think it was Dostoevsky who said, "Later,